Empty Netters puckline news brought to you by BetMGM is back here on Wednesday morning, and we've got a special guest, Tyler TOFFOLI, back on the show, live from up in the Bay. How we doing, babe?
We're live, boys. We're live.
We're so live, dude. I'm so proud of you. We are gonna let the chat know we got you for about 20 minutes, and then you're hitting the ice, just staying in it.
Yeah, I got the itch watching the boys go here, and then obviously keep an eye on the World Championships too. So,
who's up there? Who are you skating with?
Just me.
Oh, sick, dude.
Wait, are you actually just gonna hit the ice by yourself?
Well, no, I got Mike Ricci. You remember Ricci?
Yeah, of course.
He's up here too, so he's on the ice with me. We're kind of shooting the shit, and then it's not too hard, We're just kind of shooting around and getting a feel for the puck. So.
Yep. Is it strictly? Is he there for strictly one-timer service? Like you're like, hey, dude.
Right now in the moment, yeah, it's pretty much just me in the gym too, and they have like the Barracuda training staff. Like the equipment guys are in there. They're not for me, but they're in there doing the work, and it's just me walking in, and there's like 10 staff members. I'm like, you guys got to go on vacation or something.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what we keep saying to you. Like get the fuck down here.
Dude,
no, maybe this weekend maybe I'll sneak for a night.
Hey, it's a long weekend. Just saying.
Yeah,
True.
True.
Holiday weekend. Good point, Dan.
Dude, have you been dialed into the playoffs? Like, are you watching every game, or do you kind of check out a little bit?
I watched the first round. I didn't watch the game last night. I watched Game 7, Toronto, Florida. I watched that one. Why are you laughing?
Just because the lead, like, of course, that's the one you saw. Just the lead.
I mean, that was like kind of mandatory being from Toronto too.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. I've actually watched a lot of the Dallas games. Obviously,
Yeah.
and C's. So
I was gonna ask, are you? I'm sure it's hard to have a pulling for a team that you're not on, but are you pulling for the Stars a little bit for Granny, or is it like, no, I can't even think.
I like the team. I like all the teams in right now, obviously, but I really like Dallas. They were hard to play against, especially after they made the trade for Granny and C's too, and then I missed them getting Ranton, but he's obviously been incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent. You can't play without Nate.
He's so good. It's insane. Has anything shocked you so far? Like, through the first round, I feel like there were a few things that, one for us was we thought Tampa, Florida was going to be an absolute tilt, and then they just got piss pumped and down in 5. So for you as a player playing all these guys all season long, did anything in the first round just kind of catch you by surprise?
That one a little bit. I thought Tampa was great. I think they smoked us in Tampa this year. But playoffs, anything can happen. So who knows?
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's we're just seeing it again and again. Vegas, Edmonton is another example of like people thought that was going 7, and that was a snooze fest.
What else did we get so wrong in the first? Like we picked Colorado, but we didn't get that so wrong. It was like a 7-game series.
Edmonton, LA, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, that was a tough one for the boys, Toff? Like being up 2-0 after all that shit.
Yeah, that one took a turn real quick. But anything can happen with those two guys in Edmonton.
It's crazy.
It's so true,
dude. What is speaking of them really quickly? Some of the people in the office don't watch a ton of hockey, but during this time of year, they obviously tune in because playoff hockey's so sick. And their comment is always like, how come the Oilers just win at the end every time somehow? Like no matter how much they're down, they always get that empty net goal. Is that a factor of those two guys? Is they just so scary when you need a goal at the last second, or what's your sense on all that?
What was that one game? I think LA was up. They ended up winning like 6-5. Was that like game 1 and 2?
Game 1, dude. Yes, that was game 1. It was chaos.
And the goal that Connor scored to tie it up, or whatever the one, and it was just like, I had people text me being like, is this guy like for real? And like you were saying, like never watched hockey in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
You're like, no, he isn't actually. This is bullshit.
And he had that look in his eye too. Like
dude, it was his celebration.
Yes.
Agree. Like the way he wrapped the boards in that celebration, I was like, oh my God.
And dude, he had to go right by the Kings
again.
bench. He was like in that low fist pump right by the Kings bench screaming. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's scary.
Tough. I don't want to get off track, but I will let you know that the chat is heavy giving requests for Stella right now. So just
she's downstairs in the living room. She's probably eating something. She's mad. She woke me up at 5:30 yesterday, 7 o'clock today. So
improvement. We'll take 7 for sure.
Yeah, 7's fine. I can deal with 7, but the 5.
Chat, the consensus right now is Stella is kind of a bad girl. She's just like she's causing
she's rambunctious.
She's causing trouble.
She's rambunctious.
Yeah, no, she's got her stuff going on, but she's great. Whenever she's calm, she's the best. No regrets.
Yeah. Does she have a favorite toy? Did you get like what is she playing with in the house? Do you have a favorite toy, or is it just like your shoes?
She's got a little. It's not a Corona. It's a Gurrona.
Where did you
just say? Sorry, did you say Gurrona?
Gurrona.
That the lack of creativity in that.
No,
name
I like it. I like it. I like it. I got to get a pic of that after, dude. That is incredible. Where did you get that?
Honestly, there's a little like boutique store just around the corner, and we went for a walk. And before, it might have been the day before we got her, or the day we got her, and we were just like, we gotta like go get some toys. Like we literally, like we had like a bed or something, but like we didn't have a leash, we didn't have a collar, we had 0.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, let's like go get a couple toys. And I saw it. I'm like, this one's coming from me.
That's the one.
This one's for me.
Yeah. This one. Let me have this one, please.
Yeah, she loves it.
I also want to see her bed, dude. Like, how big is Stella's bed? Possibly.
Exactly.
It's
a small couch pillow.
It's so funny. Yeah, go ahead,
dude. So talking back about the playoffs, I feel like with these series now, so much of an emphasis has been put on home ice. Going through your time in the playoffs and, you winning a Stanley Cup, do you think that home ice in hockey is as important as some other sports? And is it something that you guys feel as players like, okay, thank God we get to come back home? Or you look at the Canes, for example, a team that's been so good at home and not that great on the road. How much of a factor do you think that is?
I mean, I think it is. I think it makes a big deal. But at the same time, the year that we won, I think every game against Anaheim was won by the road team. Like we went to Anaheim,
crazy
1 and 2, I believe, and we won both games. And then we came home and we're like, oh, we're going to sweep these guys. And then they won both games.
Yeah,
we're like flipped. But like the only thing for me, in my opinion, like when you're at home, and I didn't watch the game last week, but like for Carolina, it's like the crowd is so loud that if Florida, I mean, they were up 3-0 or 4-0, I think at one point, it would be like hard to come back because the fans wouldn't be as loud. So like there's more pressure on it, in my opinion.
Dude, I actually really like that take. I never thought about it this way of going down at home is a problem. Because like, dude, tough. There's so many times last year, I remember it happened specifically. A lot of people were chirping the Florida barn last year for not being loud compared to Edmonton. But, we're there. And I'm like, it's super loud, dude. What are you talking about? And and Scotiabank, when Toronto goes down, they're like, oh, the Scotiabank Library, here we go again. But it's my take on it is, well, yeah, they're quiet when you're getting pumped 3-0. And they're like, well, no, we want us to pick them up. And I'm like, well, you're not giving them anything to cheer about. And you're getting murdered. And yeah, the place went quiet because this sucks. And everyone paid a ton of money to be here. And that blows. So I actually kind of feel you on, if you go down at home, it's really hard to come back because it's just the energy is sucked out of the building.
100%. And there's just so much pressure when you go into another team's barn knowing that you have to win.
Yeah.
That sucks. I mean, it's brutal.
Being this deep, you've went to 2 Stanley Cups, being this deep in the playoffs. Can you tell us a little bit what it's like? I guess it's a 2-parter. Mentally, because you're 1 step away from the final, right? So how do you feel in this round? And then also physically, just because tell us how banged up all the boys are, even though no.
And then also, hold on, Toph, do us a favor, pull that mic a little closer to your mouth per the chat. We're just taking notes from the chat.
Okay, we're listening. No, I mean, the thing mentally is like you're kind of like numb. Like you just start grinding. You know what I mean? And same physically. Like you get to the point where like you're not practicing. All you're doing is playing games. So it's like you're just kind of grinding, and then there's nothing else. Like you're not doing anything. You're not going for dinners. Like for the most part, I think you're doing dinners like in the hotels. Like every team's different, but like you're doing dinners at the hotel, and you're just eat, sleep, playing. That's all it is,
Yeah, just laser focused on everything. I mean, that makes sense, dude. I was gonna ask what the off days look like, when you're there, but it's nothing, right? You're just completely recovery, relaxation.
Yeah, no, you're literally, it's like you're going to the rink, probably doing a meeting, and then it's just like the extra skating or like black aces, and then you're, going home, getting some rest, and then playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it checks out.
Dude, is there any huge shifts in team system or strategy ever throughout a series because it's going poorly, or is it kind of too late for that and you're making minor adjustments here and there because of film, but for the most part it's stick to the guns?
I think the only thing that might change would be like power play penalty kill, but like 5-on-5 is pretty much all the same. So you're pretty much just going out there and playing, and it's just a matter of executing.
Yeah, God, but that must be so frustrating when you're just down in a series and you're like, we're right there. We just got to finish, just got to execute. And you're like, well, I'm fucking trying.
I know. Fucking seriously.
And you just want to win so bad, right? So it's
yeah.
It's tough.
Here's the thing. I need to know what you're feeling now in the East and the West. Obviously, we got Florida with a bit of a shit kicking in game 1. But who do you like in that series? And then who do you like Edmonton, Dallas?
I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the game last night. I just saw the scores before I went to bed. But, I mean, Carolina's good. They work so hard. So Florida's done it before. And you got to kind of go with Florida, in my opinion. Like, they're obviously the defending champions. You can never count them out. And then, like I said, Dallas is a good team. But, I mean, it's also close. There's 4 teams left, so it's like, take your pick.
This one, I'm actually with you, dude, because last year, and this is such a ricochet to the Rangers, but last year in the East, I felt reasonably confident that I was like, Florida's better than them. They're going to win that series. Yeah. And I guess I was wrong, but I thought Dallas was comfortably better than Edmonton. And whereas this year coming into both of these conference finals, I'm like, this has been a brutal pick. I think we went 7 in both just because I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah. The Canes, do you think, obviously you don't know, you're not in the room, but do you think the mental shit about being swept every time they get to the conference finals and then they've been so good at home and then they come in here and lose to Florida again, does that start to creep in? Or do you think they can just be like, it doesn't matter, this is a new year, whatever?
I mean, I think it's a new year. Like, you can't look at what, last year or the year before was. They're a really good team. They're there for a reason, So they've got players. They can do it. They play hard. They don't really give up much. And like I said, what was the score? 4-2, 5-2 last night?
5-2, yeah. Yeah.
But they don't really give up much, in my opinion. So you never know what's going to happen. Like I said, like they can go, they can win tomorrow they play and go to Florida and still win there. And then they get home ice again. You know what I mean? So it's
you're right. Because in my mind, I'm like, if they lose tomorrow, they're dead.
It's just like, to me,
but you could win in Florida.
Everything you just said is correct. I want, as far as I'm concerned, I want that on record. But it just feels like this is what happens. I mean, it was 2 years ago, right, when they got swept, and Rod was like, that didn't really feel like a sweep. And I'm like, well, it was. You lost 4 straight games. And I just wonder, here you are.
Everyone's kind of like shitting on that comment right now too, because they lost game 1, and I'm like, boys got to get home here.
I mean, listen, like Rod's a great coach. They're a good team, and you're right. Like, they don't give you much at all, and we saw it in round 1 and round 2. They break teams down, and I feel like everyone came into this game at home in Raleigh, and people were like, I mean, here we go. This is the first real test. Let's see how the Canes do. Let's see if they frustrate the Panthers, and then the Panthers go up 5-1. Yeah. I was like, fuck me.
Florida's coming off of winning a big game 7-2 in Toronto.
Yeah, true.
Right, Carolina, obviously, I can't imagine they would have went home. So, like, they were ready to go. Carolina hadn't played in a few days, So it's like that, in my opinion, too, goes into factors. So it's like, because that happened when I was on Montreal. Winnipeg swept Edmonton, I believe. And then we went game 7 against Toronto. Then we played Winnipeg, and like we played like 2 nights later, and we were ready to go. And maybe we weren't like fresh, but like we were ready to rock, So I think that goes into play too.
Me too. Greersy said that in the post game. Somebody
Yeah.
asked him, I think Jackie maybe or whoever was doing that, and they were like, "Did you go right to Carolina?" And he was like, "Yeah, not a lot of time off, but we like it that way. It didn't matter." I think they legitimately preferred just to be like,
Yeah. Do you
every
think
2 nights? Yeah.
Do you think that's a thing, Toff? It's like obviously everyone's banged up in the playoffs, but it's better to just like keep it rolling rather than have 4 days off before a next game or a next series.
I mean, I've never really had that, so like I don't know what that vibe is, because like I was saying, like I don't think guys really practice a whole lot. I know the Kings guys said that when they won in 2012, they won 4 or 5 games every series, and I don't think that they practice very much. But I think that their vibe was just like so good that like I heard that golfing and stuff like you know
They're
what I mean?
shellback, dude. They were ripping shellback. It was fucking awesome.
So it's like they were just rolling, and then Quickie was like insane that playoffs. So like so that helps a lot. But if you just keep rolling through it, I mean, I think that goes a long way too. So
Yeah. I mean, if you have a 7 p.m. puck drop, you can do a 10 a.m. tea time for sure.
Yeah.
That's like
easy. I mean, I don't think they're doing that. I think they're
That's how you stay loose, dude. That's how you stay loose. Oh my God. All right, Toff, before we get you out of here, I want to talk about Worlds real quick. If it's USA, Canada, I don't know if they're going to line up in the semis or the finals, but when it's Mac versus Smitty, how do you feel, dude? What's happening in your mind?
I mean, I'm going to tune in. I'll tune in. I don't know that both those teams are good. I think Canada's just looking real. I mean, they're stacked.
It's ridiculous.
I watched. I think they lost the game in the shootout to Finland the other day, or
yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
And I watched the overtime. It was just crazy. Like I couldn't chasing McKinnon around out there in OT. It would just be a nightmare.
Yeah. And like that's not what you think you're going to be doing in the spring, summer.
Dude,
it's like you're like, yeah, I'll go play Worlds. It's fine. Yeah. And then Nate and Sid are out there, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Sid's in his old iTech neck guard, dude, that he wore is like a 15-year-old or whatever, looking incredible.
I'm seeing the photos because obviously him and Mac are lighting it up, and that's all my feed is right now. And everyone's like, how's Toff feel about Sid taking over dad duties, like all this stuff. I'm crying, laughing, and then I just see the photos. It is just Sid with his neck guard.
Yeah.
He's so uncomfortable. It is.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. Sid wears fucking ear guards, so
yeah, true. Dude, I actually think it's perfect, Toff, the more I think about it, because I saw that shit too. People DMing us like, oh my God, Toff's been replaced. Sid's Mac's dad now. And I'm like, yeah, fine. Sid is the responsible dad, and Toff was always the uncle. Like, what? There's no issue here. Like, Sid,
this is perfect.
Sid is the father. Sid's paying the bills.
Sit on the Sharkies.
Yes, yeah, let's get Sid to the Sharkies, do the chores, and then Toff takes the kids to the amusement park. Dude. Yeah, that's how this works.
It'll be fine. Like this is how it was always supposed to go.
So good.
We've got a few questions from the chat for you, Toff, before we let you get to the ice. Number one, how's the handicap right now?
I golfed the other day, so I golfed at Cal Club the other day, and I was 84, so I'll take that.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. And then, who do you want the Sharkies to draft, and how are you feeling about next season?
Oh, I mean, first of all, that draft was crazy. Like I was
the lottery. You mean?
Yeah, the lottery.
Dude, it was bonkers.
I had no clue what was going on, and then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, wait, we don't have the first overall pick, so like, what now? And then I was like looking at the odds, and I'm like, wait, are we not going to get like the second pick now? And then who was it? Utah ended up winning or something, and then whoever it was, and they couldn't jump us, so then we got the second pick.
Right. Because they pulled Utah, and I was like, oh, shit, dude, the Sharks fell again. And then they were like, just kidding, Sharks are second because you can't jump that high, but this makes no sense, and we just read 4 fucking random numbers.
It was all mental.
I was watching, and then Turner on the Cubs was calling me. I'm like, bro, leave me alone. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, like, what are we doing? He goes, bro, I'm watching this. Like, what just happened? I thought like you were supposed to have first overall. And so he called me or FaceTimed me. He's in the locker room, and he's not getting ready for a game, but he was like in the locker room with the boys, and they're all like yelling, being like, what just happened? Like, this is crazy. I'm like, are you guys watching this right now?
The entire Cubs, dude. That's so funny.
You guys are nuts. But no, that was crazy. But I mean, I think they take whoever is best available, whether that's that's Schaefer or Misa.
Yeah.
I mean, that Martone's at the Worlds right now. I didn't watch very much of the game, but I think he played his first game yesterday, which is, I mean, not easy going against Sweden in Sweden, which is kind of nuts. But
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? So.
You must be kind of pumped though, dude. It's like you guys, well, as we've talked about all season long with you, the vibes in San Jose are as high as any team in the league. Like you've really created something up there. I feel like a lot of people are going to want to sign up there, and whoever's drafted is going to be pumped to be playing with such a young, fun team. It's pretty insane what you guys have built in just a year.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully guys want to come sign here, and like you said, the vibes are good, but it's kind of time to, the locker room's in a good place. It's time to, win games. And I mean, we've talked about it before. I don't know if it was on one of the pods or what, but if you have a good locker room, that goes a long way, winning games, and when things are tough, just sticking together. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm pumped, dude.
Yeah.
And dude, maybe you'll be down here by then. Draft's in LA end of June, so we can go together. We can watch the pick from the crowd.
That's where my draft was in LA.
Dude,
No way.
look at that.
Wow, that's
they'll
sick.
call you up on stage, dude. You'll get to make the pick.
Dude.
I'm not making the pick. I'll be with
We're
you
gonna
guys.
make this happen.
I'll be
We're
with
gonna
you
make
guys
this
in nosebleeds, boys.
They're gonna make Mac do it, dude.
Yeah, right. Mac won't be fucking around. He'll
Yeah,
still
yeah.
be doing
He'll be with
whatever the
Sid,
hell
dude.
it is he
He'll be
does.
breaking leads with Sid.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what they're doing the awards too, or are they not?
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They are doing it there.
So you got to be down here by then, dude.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk off this. Maybe I'll try and sneak.
We'll
make
talk
some
offline. We'll talk
We'll make
offline.
some plans.
All right, Toff, get out of here. Go get your skate in, and then pop on to kayak.com and buy a plane
Yeah,
ticket
and
down
send
here
us
for the
send us a
weekend.
pic of Stella so we can share.
I don't book
the
the flight. That's Kat books the flight. So we'll
Yeah.
with her.
I'll text Kat.
We'll
I'll
do
text
the
Kat.
thing with her, and then we'll do a little boys' night.
There we go.
Perfect.
There we go.
All right,
All right, brother. Thanks for joining. You're the best. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Great to see you, bro. Great stuff. Great stuff
God.
from Toff, as always. God, dude.
I can't wait for Toff to get down here so we can just be on the show in person.
Dude, 1T practice alone? Are you kidding me,
I
Sharks
can-
fans?
Also,
Are you kidding me?
Like, I can throw a 1T.
Yeah,
Come
dude,
come
why don't
practice
I
down
get
here in
that call?
LA, dude.
So true, dude.
Practice down here. I'll throw you
Why
some
don't I get
some
that
passes.
call?
Give me a break. All right. Great stuff from Toff, per usual. Chat, we're going to get into the game last night as well as what's going on tonight. Producer Edge, look at this. Look at the graphics he's got going for us. Unbelievable.
God, that was a good one. Hey,
that was a really
good
nice transition.
That was
Edge,
really
come
good.
on, baby.
That was really
Let's
good.
go. People talk about Wag's bag, and now we're in Edge's duffel.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is unbelievable. All right, folks, let's get into the game last night. Cats, Canes, CP. Break down the beginning of this game for us.
I would say, I mean, we watched the first period. We were playing bingo, and coming off of the way the Cats had kind of dominated long stretches against the Leafs, I think I was worried about that. If you're hoping to be Carolina, but
Can you believe this fucking idiot?
I was going like this. I was right here.
But that's just put it in front of your mouth.
That's
You slut.
thank you. I didn't want to go there. But I thought especially the beginning, first,
Yeah.
I don't know, 7 minutes, Carolina had the shot advantage and was physical. I don't know how many times I had to say it on the bingo, but like they were throwing the body around, out shooting the Cats, out hitting the Cats. And then they took the penalty. I forget who it was. Took the penalty, and I said, well, here comes the
I think it was Aho.
here comes the Carolina
It was the
kill.
sweep,
Yep.
right?
The Carolina kill is unbelievable. And they actually had, I would say most of that kill was pretty great. But then it was like,
It was.
because Florida wants to go up top. They want to play up top on the power play, but they can also, they're like, fine, you want me to live down here? We'll go down to Chucky on the goal line and watch him cook. And then they just lost for Hagee for 1 second, and he went forehand, backhand on the puck on edge under the bar. And these micro things happen when you're playing Florida where you're like, let's not let them get a lead. Let's not let them get a power play goal. That'd be great. Their power play's been bad. Our penalty kill's been good. And then it's like, boom, Florida 1-0. Boom, Florida power play goal. Get fucked. You're dead. And I was like, not great, Bob. Not great.
Not great. It's so true. Toff just sent a photo of Stella. We got to get that. We got to send that to Edge, and he can see if he can get it in the chat.
Oh, that'd be funny.
You're so right, man. It's almost it felt as if everything was going wrong for Carolina in terms of just what they wanted to happen and what they needed to happen. And yeah, I couldn't really put a finger on that game because it was flying back and forth. Carolina was getting a good amount of shots.
Oh yeah, that's their game.
But what we talked about, remember when we said after Game 7 how awesome it must be to be a Florida fan?
Yeah.
And certainly to be a member of that team. They just seem so calm, and they seem so prepared for everything, unfazed by everything. And that's how it felt. The shots they were giving up to Carolina, there weren't that many crazy testing shots. How many times do we keep saying it's smothered by Bob, smothered by Bob?
Couldn't get a glove save to save my life or Jack's life.
Seriously, Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
Jack.
But it felt like Florida was just so calm and settled. And then, yeah, they go in, they get on that peeper. Verhaeghe's disgusting backhand goal.
Gross.
And I said it on the bingo. If Chad, if you guys hadn't seen that play, Verhaeghe very patiently with a bouncing puck waits until that puck gets up on its edge so he can lay it on the back of his stick and then truly just shelf it up in that tiny little window right over Anderson's shoulder. Insane. And then just a beautiful play by Florida. Who was it down low who dished that out to Ekblad?
I think. Oh, Evan Rodriguez, I think.
It was Ebrod, that's right. Rodriguez comes around the net, finds Ekblad.
Another one on edge, by the way.
Yep. But just a quick shot, gross, barring in. And it was at that point that you just felt like, here we go again. This team is just in such a rhythm. They're unflappable.
Let me read you this, Dan.
Also, I want to say real quick, Steve in the chat just asked me how FICO's was in New York. I'm doing a sandwich tour of New York.
I saw that.
It was phenomenal. Also, Steve, tell or any New Yorkers in the chat, is it FICO's or is it like FICO's? Is it that's the CC make a CH noise? I think it's FICO's. But I'll tell you what, one of the best chicken parm sandwiches I've ever had. One of the meatiest Italian sandwiches I've ever had. It is a day ruiner, though.
You got both?
Alice and I split them.
Jesus Christ.
And Alice, of course, like a dignified human, had a couple bites of both, and I ate the entire thing. It is a day ruiner. It'll make you take a nap real quick. I'm just saying.
That's okay. Go ahead, score out of 10.
Edge, how am I soft? Edge is in the chat saying I'm soft. What did I do? I took a nap?
You took a nap after one sandwich, dude.
It was a big sandwich.
It was a meaty Italian.
We gave it an 8.9 out of 10.
8.9.
It's currently number 1 on the New York sandwich
Christ,
list.
you started high, hey?
No, go to FICO's and tell me what's up.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, let me read this to you, Dan. Because I would say I felt like those were great shots and bad D on both those goals for Freddie in the first period.
A bad D on a peeper?
They just lost him in the slot. Lose Kachuk in the corner. Lose Bennett up top. Carter Verhaeghe's literally standing alone in the slot.
He wasn't in the slot. He was pretty tucked towards the post. I don't think he was right. He was
in front of the net.
He was a little off to the side, but that's why the angle was so low. But whatever.
But just lose anyone else.
Sure.
And I will say that I kind of felt like Freddie was hung out to dry on just about all the goals. But you go here. I'm going in reverse order for his games.
Okay.
Goals allowed by Freddie Anderson. 1, 2, 0, 2, 1. There's the cap series. Piotr was in the last game of the Devils.
Yep,
Obviously
that's right.
Gave up 4. Then 1, 3, 1, 1.
Yeah.
That's Freddie Anderson in the playoffs. 2 in the first period immediately. And I'm like, fuck. and I'm not even saying, because you said, how do they win if Iceberg stays fresh as lettuce? I agree. If he's tired all of a sudden, if he's human all of a sudden, you're in big trouble. I don't even think that game was he's tired all of a sudden, because it was just, again, bad D.
I think you're right.
But that was not what you wanted to happen.
No.
You wanted to lose that game.
No.
You wanted to lose that game 2-1. And you go, Freddie played great.
And you're right. I'm going to give you credit here. I tweeted it out after the game, but you said it to me. That this game, with the stats that you just read, the score, and then we will get into this, the antics.
Yep, the non-antics.
Was a nightmare. This game was a true nightmare for Carolina. Now, that's not to say that the series is out of control here or that they're fucked or anything like that, but what didn't you want to happen in this game if you're Carolina? You didn't want to give up a ton of goals.
Check.
You didn't want to lose on home ice.
Check.
You didn't want to lose the physical battle against this team that gets under your skin. You didn't want to give them the mental edge.
Check.
It's just all. Also, you didn't want any of their big boys to score.
Check.
Hagee scores the first goal, and then Rhino scores as well. It's like every I didn't even really set it out.
We wrote down a list of things like, don't let this happen.
I hadn't even said it out loud yet. Like the Panthers clearly listened to that. Like, what do the Canes need to have happen? And they went, let's make sure none of those things happen.
Yeah.
It is genuinely a nightmare game, and you have to have a monstrous bounce back now. Monstrous.
I think you put it behind you, right? Obviously. And I wonder if there's a little bit of because I don't know. Dennis, our buddy Dennis from the Raleigh ESPN show, who we love, he had messaged us during the game that was like the Canes have met their match skating wise. And he's obviously a huge Canes guy. And that's a big thing for a Canes fan to admit, where you go, all right, dude, we thought we've been able to outskate everybody. How much do we talk about their D gap control? Perfect.
Yep.
Everybody flying forward, layered pressure. This Cats team, it's like in Sherlock Holmes when he's doing the 20-step forward in the fight thing. Palm to jaw, dislocate. Elbow to nose, broken in 3 places. Diaphragm. And then
Discombobulate.
Discombobulate completely. And then he does that to people. That's what the Canes have been doing for the first 2 rounds against worthy opponents. I would say they have an easier path than Dallas, but worthy opponents. And they did the discombobulate mind game. And then the Cats did the Moriarty thing where he's like this, block that. Discombobulate you. I can do this too, you idiot. And the Canes were like, oh, fuck, dude. And that's what happened in game 1.
That was so inside baseball nerd movie talk right there.
Sherlock Holmes 2?
And I loved it.
Sherlock Holmes 2? That's a blockbuster.
You went a Game of Shadows on people.
That's Game of Shadows. That's a blockbuster. People
That's
seen Game of Shadows.
Out of control by you right there.
People seen Game of Shadows.
And I loved every second of it.
God.
But you're absolutely right, brother. I'm not gonna lie. I just think that was everything that you couldn't have happened in that game. And now this is the biggest. We said that this series was going to be the biggest test of the Canes season. It already was. And it's even bigger now because you cannot lose game 2 at home. I really don't think you can. Listen, guys, could the Cats go up 2-0 and then the Hurricanes bounce back and tie it up 2-2, both games in Florida? Yes, that could happen. Mm-hmm. But as all of the Cats fans, and I will say Cats fans, our beloved Cats fans in the chat, and just ones on Twitter in the world, ever since the Cup, all season long, they've been pretty cocky, but cocky in a good way, in a deserving way. And it's like we're talking, it comes from that comfort. You go into Game 7 in Toronto, Cats fans were like, are you kidding me? Do you think that this team has a shot at beating us? Get a grip. And they completely tallywhack the Maple Leafs out of the playoffs. And now here they are. They go into care. Oh, water's freezing under the Golden Gate Bridge. It's so hard to play in Raleigh. And they beat the shit out of them. So if you go back to Florida, back to Sunrise, where the water is wet, and you have a 2-0 lead, you think that they're like, oh, yeah, this Carolina team, they're tough. They could battle back. No, they are going to be very comfortable. And you do not want that if you're Carolina. We asked Toff, and he said, it's a new team, it's a new game, which is exactly what I think they're saying and exactly what I think an NHL player would say. Yeah. But I am like, dude, it's in there. It's in there somewhere. It's like a virus, Stan. It's growing like a virus in their brain. We said in the preview pod, I think it was, Game 1 would have been so big for Carolina because you just get all this narrative gone. Yeah. All the fucking, we've never won in the Eastern Conference Finals. We've lost 13 straight Eastern Conference Finals games. Rod the Bod is 0-9. That's all anyone was going to talk about. It's what we're talking about. It's what every hockey show today is talking about. And if you just win Game 1,
Maybe Florida wins game 2 and we have a great series on our hands, but all of that shit is dead. No one's ever going to speak about it again. And then to lose emphatically, I would add.
Yeah. You're now 0-9.
Damn it, dude.
You're now 0-9.
And it's like a virus. It's like a virus infecting your brains. Losing is a disease. And
what do you think about Rod's? Well, actually, you know what I really want to talk about again?
yeah.
Game 7. We saw the Seth Jones goal for Florida that gets called back. And we were like, could Paul Maurice have challenged
yes,
that?
Dad. Yes.
And
Go.
he didn't. And we chalked that up to that was great coaching.
Yep.
That was great coaching because he believed
Confident.
in his team, didn't want to. We always say the call on the ice, you never know if it's going to be overturned. Don't challenge it because you don't want to give the other team a power play. Maurice believed in his team, and it worked out perfectly. Then in this one, they go up 2-0. Sebastian Aho scores. Without a doubt, in my mind, that was a kick.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
We'll
really
talk about
quickly?
that
Yeah.
now, chat. Like that play was that was some FIFA street techers with that goal. Like a puck thrown on net, and Sebastian Aho, nasty by the way,
Dude, disgusting touch.
throws his leg behind himself and kicks it in the net. Like without a clear, and let me see if you can see this, chat. Without a clear.
Get the leg up, dude. Get the leg up. Get it up. Oh, I saw it. Yeah, you did it. Do it again. Woo! That's really
Without
good.
a clear, I'm standing in the slot and I'm just kicking a puck in.
Yep.
If that's not textbook kicking motion into the net,
Yep.
what are we doing here?
There's Canes fan on the bingo. People were being like, everybody was like, that's a clear kick. I'm sure there are Canes fans in this chat. So chime in if you actually feel like that wasn't, but I'm so with you. Great play intentionally to the net. And I would have called it, in my opinion, it's a kick.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's a kick.
So,
As you discuss
Yeah.
the challenge, I have something else to say. So you keep going.
well, my point was just going to be that one was interesting. So many, you're up 2-0 in the game. You have so much momentum, and I had a bunch of our buddies who are Cats fans texting me being like, "What the fuck? First of all, how is that not called no goal?" I actually agree with that
Yep.
one. And you know what it was, chat? I think it was the refs don't see that replay. They just cuddle up and they talk about what they saw on the ice. And to them, I think that they were probably like, it hit Aho, but whatever. No one really saw that clear kicking motion. They're not looking at that video. I need all the fans to know that. I am surprised that Maurice didn't challenge it, or at least I was in the moment. And a lot of those fans who were texting us that were like, how does Maurice not challenge this? Dude, I'll tell you how. He trusts his team.
Yeah, dude, check this out. Don't care.
Because let me tell you what, folks, this is the shit that got Jim Hiller in hot water. This one, exactly. There's a goal scored by the other team. You go, if Maurice goes, fuck that, challenges it, and they're like, we don't really know. It's still a goal, and they get a power play. And then they score. Now it's tied.
Going into the break.
Yep. That's a disaster. So it's just, yet again, an incredible display from Paul Maurice of going, take your goal. I don't give a shit. I trust this team. We're going to be fine. What happens? They come out, boom, goal, boom, goal, boom, goal. And it's over.
Dude, Maurice, that not only is he confident in his team, but also it rubs off on them in a way that they go like, dude, let's show him. The reason he has his confidence in this is because we'll just go out and score again, and then we'll go, thanks, coach. Thanks for having our back, because it doesn't matter at all. We've got one. I'm so with you. And I would argue that, I said this to you live, maybe after the period ended or something, they're weird with that rule, the league. That I could have seen a version, and again, I said at the top of this, that's a kick in my mind. I could have seen a version where the league goes, I don't know, because they allow that stop, which I always bitch about. If you stop and your foot is angled to make the puck go in, but you're not kicking.
CP Bill in the chat is a Panthers fan. He was like, I think it might have been a good goal. Positioning your foot for deflection is different than propelling the puck with a kick. Well worded, Bill.
That is correct.
And yes.
But this one, since it's your back foot.
And in my opinion, you can watch that replay as many times as you want.
It's coming around.
Yeah,
it's coming around.
That
heel's coming around.
If he just stopped and it was the angle, fine, but his right leg swings. And I'm like, that's a kick.
That's
guys.
a kick. And I think someone
But Bill,
said
you're
here,
absolutely right. And yes, that is a tough one.
And someone had put in here, I'm trying to find it. Matt's vibe said Biz on the broadcast said it's not kicking. Briz was like, that's a goal because he's not kicking it towards the net, but that's not the rule.
No,
if you're kicking it at all, if it's a kicking motion anywhere.
CP just sewering Biz out here.
Well, I'm just telling the chat that's the difference. Like it's okay to, it's not okay to kick it not towards the net.
Yeah,
and I think most of us think that was kind of a kick.
Yes.
Kind of a kick. So incredible call by Maurice Dan, and then I'll take it here because this is what you were about to say.
Yeah.
We just flagged these two quotes after the game because I could not feel more differently about them if I fucking tried. After the game, a 5-2 Panthers win, I might add. Mm-hmm. Paul Maurice goes, didn't love our game tonight. I didn't love our game tonight, but I understood it. Significant style change. Yeah, right? Like every series is different. We hear this from Ikes all the time of how you're going to battle with a new system, new team. Mm-hmm. Some coaches like to do that. Some coaches stick to their guns, whatever. This Carolina team wants to out-hit you, wants to outshoot you. They did that in both these games. They're going to out-face-off you a lot of the time. So Maurice was adjusting to that coming from the Leafs, but this is the transformer nature of the Panthers, where they can go, actually didn't love how we responded to the Carolina system. Rinsed them 5-2. Didn't love our game. We'll try harder.
I mean, it's what's funny is it feels like mind games.
Yeah, right, dude.
But then I actually don't think it is.
I think he's telling the truth. He tells the truth up there.
Yeah.
You could ask him anything. Every Maurice press conference is a Reddit AMA.
These guys just feel like, I mean, I'm sure you saw the shithousery going on from Matthew Tkachuk. The Panthers team said that they weren't pleased with the fact that they set up the press scrum right outside their gym. So I think it was Taylor Hall and maybe Aho or something, or maybe Jarvie, but a couple of the Canes guys were going out to do their like pregame presser. Yeah. And Matthew Tkachuk is just firing medicine balls against the wall. just shithousery to the highest extent.
Oh my God.
You see Maurice doing that shit. And then also, man, after the game, I think it was like Bennett and Verhaeghe were doing their scrum, and someone was like, any more questions? And Maurice is behind the wall, and you just hear him go, no. Like doing it. They're just like joking around.
They're having the time of their lives.
And yeah, I think that there is a world where Maurice is like, I didn't like our game. And I'm like, you just won 5-2.
Yeah.
With a power play goal at the end. Like it was 5-1.
And he knows they're going to hear that quote. Like the Canes are going to go in the locker room and go, Paul Maurice had hated their game tonight.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
And then you contrast that, Dan, with this quote from Rod after the game. After a 5-2 beatdown, which was 5-1 most of the game.
Yeah, that's 5-2. Sounds like it was 4-2, and then an empty net goal was scored. It was 5-1.
And dude, I want to be clear. I don't. Have you ever met Rod? I've never met Rod.
No, we've met Rod, but not.
But I've never
one.
Yeah. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves him. In the organization, on the team, it's incredible. Everyone wants to dog the sweep quote. I know what he meant. I don't love the quote, but I know what he meant.
Yeah.
After this game, Rod says, they got 2 power play goals. I think that's really the difference in the game. Literally, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
You lost by First of all, you lost by 3. So I can remove their power play goals, and you have still lost.
And you got a power play goal at the end of the game.
And that wasn't the difference in the game at all, dude. Like, wasn't the second power play goal late as fuck? Which one was that?
The Canes, the Cats one, yeah.
Yeah, it was their fourth.
It was their fourth goal. I think it was Rhino's goal.
It was Bennett's goal.
It was Bennett's. That's right.
It was 3-1 already. Like, I need my coach to have me win 5-2 and go, hated our game tonight. I don't need my coach to watch me lose 5-2, probably more like 5-1, and say that their 2 power play goals were the difference in the game. That is. I can't even wrap my head around that quote, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw the great graphics popping up on the screen. I think it's 0-13 in their last 13 Eastern Conference Finals games.
And Ty says, and they kicked one in. Like you lost 5-2. You got a late power play goal. It didn't matter. And your first goal was kicked in, and you're going like this. Their power play goals were the only difference in the game.
Yeah, it's just I don't love it. I love Rod as a coach. I don't want to sewer anybody, but there were a couple of lineup changes made by Rod in this game that, if you look at the stat sheet, really did not go their way. And it does feel a bit like we are in this phase where I said to you last night, and I talked to G from Chicklets last night as well. I believe in this Canes team. I think this is going to be a good series. I picked the Panthers as I am on the Panthers bandwagon, and I will never leave. And but I love this team. I love this Carolina team. I love the boys, and I want to see them do well. So I'm not saying I think this is going to happen. Certainly, nor do I want it to happen. If they get swept, if they go down 0-2, 0-3, you wonder, how are we not having a conversation here of there's an equal mental hurdle here as there is for the Leafs, as there is for the Wild in round 1, as there is for the Kings against the Oilers.
Right. It's just later.
Yeah, it's just later.
Yeah,
like
such a good point.
They make the second round, third round, and people are like, Kane's always a threat. But there are a lot of people who've been shit talking. They'll be like, are they, dude, or do they just get here and run into this same wall? And when the wall is the Florida Panthers, it's hard to give someone shit because we saw the Tampa Bay Lightning go to 3 straight cups, win 2, and then lose 1 to Colorado. We're almost seeing the reverse here, where it's we had Colorado win a cup, then Vegas win a cup, but that was the beginning of Florida going to the cup, and now they've gone again, and there's a chance that they're headed right back. So it's like we have possibly another dynasty here.
Yeah.
So it's hard to dog someone for losing to this team, but at the same time, you can't just keep going, well, the other team's great.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
You get great.
Yeah. I mean, fuck me, man. If this team loses another game and then another, you're like, what are we doing here?
Yes, because
you can't fire Rob.
changes. I know, but like something has to be done. I am now, I'm slightly worried about Rod, to be honest with you. Not his job security. I'm talking up here, Dan. I'm talking mental health. I'm wondering if there's a chance that what do they call the Kim Jong-il in North Korea? Like the
Un. It's
Kim
currently
Jong-un.
Un.
It's like our true leader, or like they have like a term for him. It's like,
Yeah, it's not supreme.
yeah,
leader.
that's what I wanted to say.
Is it supreme?
No, I don't think
it's
that's
supreme
Star Wars, dude. I think
It is. That is Star
But
Wars.
it's like,
Chat, ask the chat.
He's something, dude.
Chat, what is
Kim
Kim Jong-un referred to?
And he's supreme leader until we figure it out.
Yeah.
And you know he's like, we won. We beat Brazil in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I shot 18 under. I shot 54 under.
No, played golf,
18
played 18
hole-in-one.
holes, shot 18
Yeah.
balls. He was like,
So-
this was too easy.
So I think there's a chance.
Eric says,
Matt David. Dear leader. Is it dear leader? That would be,
Cheryl, there's no way
that
it's
would be
dear
gas
leader.
if it's dear leader. So, dude, I think Rod, there's a chance he is becoming.
It is supreme leader.
No way, dude. Rocket Man. That's supreme leader. If
Star
it was
Wars
literally take supreme
If
leader
it was
from
dear
from North
leader, bro.
Korea.
Like the weird sexual
dear leader.
nature of that is
He's my
fucking
dear leader.
bizarre.
Oh my god, dude. So I think there's a chance that Rod is accidentally or slowly, boiling frog style, becoming supreme leader in Carolina because they can't impeach him. There's no term. He just gets to rule forever. And then he goes like this.
Dude, I'm sorry. They're also saying respected comrade general secretary. What the fuck is going on in North Korea, dude?
Oh, dude, what a place.
Oh,
They're
wow.
gonna kill us now, dude.
Yeah,
We're dead.
yeah.
But dude, I think Rod is becoming supreme leader because he goes like this. We were not swept. We beat Florida. And then last night he goes like this. Only difference is the power play goals. Otherwise we win. And everybody's like, yes, supreme leader, yes. And I now think that the only way to save the Canes is to get Rod either to a psychiatrist or a hypnotist. Either or. But somebody needs to just get we talk about Val's mind right. We need to get Rod's mind right because I don't think he knows what's happening. I don't think he literally sees what is happening.
You know that scene in Waterboy where Henry Winkler is on the phone with his mom and he's wearing high heels and the phone's actually disconnected.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I worry about Rod that he's going home and he's trying to analyze what's gone on in the game. And he's got like a Charlie Kelly whiteboard with red string all over it. And he actually has no clue what happened in the series. And that's why he's like, we didn't get swept.
We won. We've won the cup. He's got.
I'm not worried about getting swept because we in fact
did not get swept. I'm 9-0. I'm 9-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. He
You've
probably
got-
has 2 Stanley Cup rings as a head coach.
You've got Paul Maurice being like, I hated the way we played in a 5-2 win. And Rod is like this, I loved our game. We're doing great. We're doing just fine.
Rod.
Don't have to change it.
I'm like, Rod, come back to me. We lost, Rod. We lost again.
Hey. Yeah,
I
I mean,
a disaster, dude.
listen, it's a long series. I always say to the fans, we had a lot of Canes fans in our DMs being like, "Is it time to panic?" And I was like, "No, it's not time to panic. Relax, it's okay." But at the same time, we've got to get back on the rails here. Shout out producer Edge. So Kim Jong-un, the current supreme leader of North Korea, holds many titles and offices. Currently, he holds the highest titles in the party, state and army, being General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, Chairman of the Central Military Commission of the Workers' Party of Korea, President of the State of Affairs.
He wears a lot of hats. I knew he would.
I mean, the man, he's impressive. He's
wears
impressive.
He wears a lot of hats. Oh, dude.
Oh, great. Oh, wow, Sal, great Pepe Sylvia comment.
Can I
chat? We are off the rails today.
Can I spin zone this, though, back to Florida? How about this, Dan? The Florida Panthers, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What happened in the Eastern Conference Finals?
2 years ago,
They
won in a sweep
They
against
swept,
Carolina.
they swept the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Last year, Eastern Conference Finals. What happened?
They went down to the old cockroach Rangers.
Yep, down 2-1.
Yep.
Came back 1-6, tough series. Mm-hmm. What happened in the Stanley Cup Finals last year?
They went up 3-0, and then Edmonton clawed back 1-3, and then they did win in 7.
They lifted the cup. What happened in the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years ago?
They lost in 5.
So a sweep in the Eastern Conference Finals gets you a loss. A good series in the Eastern Conference Finals gets you lifting the cup. They might have to throw a game. Like they're about to sweep the Canes.
Let's talk about the mental side.
But if I'm the Panthers, I think you have to throw a game.
Let them get one.
I might lose game 2 in Carolina just to make this a fight. Make this a damn fight. Because otherwise you sleepwalk into the final and you lose again.
I think this is smart.
What do you think about that? Throw a game.
I think this is really, really smart. We've got a couple other stats here. The Panthers, 38 goals in their first 8 road games this postseason, which is tied with the 2022 Colorado Avalanche for most in NHL history.
And doesn't that scare you a little bit when you're the Canes and you've never lost at home in the history of the world? And the Panthers go, we don't give a fuck where we play, dude.
You don't love that.
They're going to throw game 2.
You don't love that. And then finally, I want to get in with you. You always love this stuff. The antics.
Yeah.
Any bingoers in the chat? Sorry,
Jack. God, it's got to hit, though.
I hate when teams seem to lose their composure against this Florida Panthers team.
It happens.
Yeah, and when I say
time.
I hate it, like you hate to see it. You're watching someone completely crash out right before your eyes.
Yep. We're talking about the ghost play, and I actually got a call from my buddy Phil and Dan actually on the call.
I'm sorry. The chat is buzzing right now. Someone said earlier chat is glue, and this chat is glue. But I will say here, we are just out of our minds with the movie references, but the chat's picking up on it every time. Dude, we got movie fans in the chat.
I want to say, Dan, I think we should start calling, because some people are saying like the Canes are the first NHL team with a North Korean head coach. And I actually want to say, I think Rod is no longer head coach. He's now general secretary. I think we should start calling Rod general secretary.
Supreme leader, dude.
But that's too far. Like we can't call him supreme leader, but I think which he is, by the way, because he has lost his mind. But I think we call Rod general secretary of the Carolina Hurricanes. That is so good. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at fucking Edge.
Oh my God. So Ghost. This is what I was going to say. I got a call from our boy Phil, and you would have loved it because on the phone, Dan, when we referenced Doc Negus on the pod, Phil got to Beer League, and they go, dude, is your nickname Doc? The boys
Yeah.
called you Doc Negus, and he goes, "That's actually my dad. They're talking about my dad."
Yeah.
So
That is my dad.
Phil calls and
Michael says call him Chancellor. I actually like that.
Rod the Bod, Chancellor of the Carolina Hurricanes. That should be on his business card, dude.
Ruin
Rod
Brind'Amour's career.
We lost again, Rod. Dude, so Phil calls leaving beer league in North Carolina at fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Because he was like, he missed the third period, watched the highlights, saw the fight, saw the antics. And those were antics. So I can't believe that play for so many reasons. Ghost, I think it's like Lundell up his ass. Ghost comes down the wall. Marshy was coming in the zone and starts to line him up, and he's coming across hard. And I'll say this, Marshy was coming across pretty hard for a 5-1 game that was over. You know, it looked
that's
like
true.
he was about to line him up good. And I was like, yo, that's about to be a big hit. And dude, it's playoffs, you know, fucking head up, baby. But he was coming across hard, and then he completely misses him. If anyone in this chat thinks that Marshy hit Ghost in a bad way in any shape or form, you are literally wrong. He hits the stick out of his hands. He hits Ghost's stick. That is all that happens. He completely misses him. And then the wires cross, dude. Ghost, you want to talk about getting mind right? I don't think Ghost even knew who hit him at first, because Lundell comes around, he fires one at Lundell.
Yeah.
Because he's like, fuck you. And then Lundell turns around and two-hands him back. Because he's like, that wasn't even me, dude. And then Ghost gets the puck and fires a snapshot directly at Brad Marchand on purpose. And Marchand immediately drops him. I hated this from Ghost. I love him, the player.
No, he's amazing.
I love him, the guy. This was peak, like, you have lost your mind. Like, and they're getting to me, and everything is a nightmare. We cannot be shooting pucks at Brad Marchand in the middle of the game.
Dude, it's like it's borderline similar to Happy Gilmore saying, "I'm the only guy who's ever taken a skate off and trying to stab a guy."
Yeah,
like
I'm the only guy who's fired a slap
shooting
shot at Brad
a puck.
Marchand.
I said to my Panthers buddy, shout out Dave again. He was like, "Are you allowed to do that?" And I was like, "Honestly, dude, yes. It's not against the rule. Like, there's no rule that says you can't shoot a puck at a player. It's just one of those things that's like, why would you do that? Like,
what are you
why
doing?
would we even put that in the rules?" And I said it's like the scene in Mr. Deeds when they're playing tennis and he's just pelting it.
Yeah.
Pelting it. And it's like, I hate it so much, because I'm like, dude, that is a full-on tantrum.
Oh, I was gonna say,
shooting a puck at a player in the NHL is a full-on tantrum behavior, and you're like, oh no, what's happening?
Literally, and this is not a ricochet at you, it literally looked like a younger brother out on your backyard rink or the pond who's so mad at the older brother for bullying you and being better at hockey and better looking and cooler and funnier and smarter and everything. So then the younger brother freaks out and shoots a puck at him. Not you. This is just a random hypothetical. That's what it looked like. It looked like he was 8 years old, and it was November 15th.
Where? Possibly Cape Nettic, Maine.
Cape Nettic, Maine. Where'd the cactuses live? What was that street called?
I thought you were going to go our backyard pond.
Yeah,
Make it real
No,
specific.
because it was in front of everybody.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's just what it felt. Universally, that's what it felt like. Not specific to you, not specific to anybody, but that's what it looked like. It looked like an 8-year-old firing a puck at his older brother.
Chat's going off right now. Baker saying, 07 final, Scott Niedermayer had someone take a slap shot at him. That is true, actually.
What a great call, dude. What a great call. My God.
But all joking aside, or being serious, that was a total little brother move. Like, you're getting frustrated and you're like, fuck you!
Dude, and then Marshy kind of
Blast.
not that was like the best fight ever, but like Marshy ends up on top, shoving his face in the ground.
Because
So I was like,
Marshy was like, and he was saying some big brother shit too. He was like, "Did you just shoot a puck at me, you fucking baby?"
Yes, dude. Oh God,
That's what
I would have given for the mic'd up there, dude. Are you
my
fucking
Lord,
kidding me?
that
Such a
would
good
be-
call by you.
Like,
That'd have been epic.
He was for sure was doing that. All right, chat. We're off the rails here. We've hit our hour on the show. Before we bounce.
Yeah, I got a little. Yeah, go.
Well, no, you go. It sounds like you got some stuff.
Well, I was just going to see. I wonder, Dan, Bob, I wrote this down. I thought this was a great stat. Bob's save percentage since game 4 of the Leaf series, 948. And I don't know that Carolina, as we said, they're going to outshoot you, whatever. They outshot them 33-20 in this game. And I'm kind of curious on both ends. If you're the Panthers, I think you do want more than 20 shots.
Definitely.
Because I don't think you're going to get that many past Freddie normally, even though they got some great A's.
That's actually one of the stats where I believe Maurice when he says, I didn't like our game.
Agree. And Rod made, the part of Rod's quote I left out was, he said, you have to give them credit. They get a chance, it's in the net, which was certainly true in game one and has been true a lot in these playoffs. But I don't think you want to rely on that. We only got 5 chances in the game. We got to score all of them, right? You want to get a little bit more action on Freddie. But Carolina, Toff just said you don't really change the system that much. But I just don't know if this, like, let's just get a bunch toward Bob and we'll be okay, is the game plan because of the way Florida can match your speed. And you think you have an edge in goalie with Bob over Freddie. You think, even though Freddie's been incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if they, like, it's like basketball, they say don't do the fast break, get in the half court. I wonder if Carolina just, like, slogs it down a little bit. You can't outskate them the way you have, so you're like, okay, then don't. Like, let's just keep the puck low. Instead of being like, we just need to get shots, which I have been bitching about all playoffs. But instead of that, maybe you go, let's just possess, dude. Because the longer we have it, the longer Florida can't fucking score. And, I don't care if this game ends 16-15 shots.
Yeah.
Because we'll just win that way. Maybe. I don't know. But it's like you got to do something different than what I just saw.
You do. And I do think a big thing for us has been more shots.
Yep.
For sure. But as far as Carolina, this team frustrates you. Their D is suffocating, blah, 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 blah. But we did say, right, this is going to be the biggest test.
This series or game 2?
This series.
Yeah.
And that did not go well.
No.
At home. And now we're going to see if Rod and this team can adjust because major adjustments are needed.
Yes.
So I think that's the thing that we have our eyes peeled on. And you're going against a Florida team that's really buzzing and they're feeling themselves. And Bob, it looks amazing
and feels in your head a little bit.
Yeah,
with the ghost shit,
yes.
with the interview shit. Like that. Dan, truly, you just said at the top that all the things you didn't want to happen for Carolina happened. Basically, the one that bothers me the most from the Kane side is the mental. I don't even care that Freddie got lit up a little bit. I don't even care that the Panthers got a power play goal. I don't even care that the Panthers got some guys, got Verhaeghe going. I care that you shot a puck at Marchand and are annoyed at the Panthers. I
kind of hear you.
Because I'm like, dude, just ignore them. Ignore them, dude.
Yeah.
Just, like, let it go. It doesn't fucking matter. You feel like you're better or you feel like you're just as good and just on to the next game. I just hate that, like, Marshy, you're so right. He's laughing in the locker room tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, dude, remember when that dude shot a puck at me? I said that they should do, you know how the NHL teams have those practice dummy mannequins that they put in front of nets for, like, to practice screens and shit? Like, they should put, like, if I'm the Panthers, I have a ghost jersey on that all practice, just, like, firing pucks at it. And they're like, look at this fucking guy.
I'm going to have my eyes peeled in game 2. 2011 Bruins Canucks Stanley Cup final. You got Alex Burrows biting Patrice Bergeron's finger.
Yeah.
And then after that, Bruins players were waving
All
their
series.
fingers. And I think Bettman had to come out and be like, no more fucking hands in face. Like,
He literally
stop
did.
this. If you don't think we're going to see Brad Marchand after a whistle, like with the puck or without the puck, going up to Ghost, like pretending to shoot at him, you're out of your mind. Like, that's definitely
flinching away from him.
definitely going to be a thing. All right, tonight, folks, we've got Dallas Stars, Edmonton Oilers, Game 1 in Dallas. We're going to be recording the pod late night tonight, so you'll have a new episode out tomorrow. We'll get all into that series then. If we have any Oilers fans, any Stars fans in the chat, we've got 2 awesome shirts dropping today so you guys can support your team. And then in the meantime, as we keep saying, look at the merch. Come on.
Get in there. Get in
CP.
there. We got great options.
There's great
And they're
stuff in there.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's
Holy
actually
hell.
unbelievable. This is one of the best long sleeve shirts I've ever worn. You know why? Because it doesn't have that stupid scrunch thing down at the end here. It's just a straight long sleeve shirt. So go scoop yourself one.
And then for everyone, here's the big reward for everyone still in the chat.
Producer Edge has a nice gift for you.
Stella!
Ah!
And that's with the Gurrona.
The Gurrona.
The Gurrona dog
in
toy.
the chat, if you were waiting patiently,
Very, very special.
Stella TOFFOLI in the chat right now, chewing on her little dog toy. Things that you
And
love
I got to say,
to
that is one of the
see.
cutest dogs I've seen in a long time.
But you can tell she's a terror. She wants
yeah.
to.
Yeah, with a little nip. You know, it's like friendly biting, but you're like, you actually did break the skin.
Yeah.
I actually am bleeding, but I love you so much, Stella, and thank you for being so cute.
There she is.
I love that Toph was like, give me the Gurrona. That's my one wish on earth.
Oh my God,
that's amazing.
All right, unbelievable stuff, chat. We love you guys. Great episode. We will see you on the podcast tomorrow and back on the live on Friday. But until we see you,
Gonna be a big one tonight.